Welcome to the Brown Bag Business Chat. We are here today with Miss Carrie Dils. You know Carrie from the WordPress and Genesis community and her officehours.fm podcast. Carrie, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you do and who you do it for?
Oh man, what do I do? I make websites for people. And using WordPress and the Genesis framework. I do a lot of custom development, custom theming, and yeah, most of my clients are small business owners themselves. Some are local, most are not.
Awesome. So today we're going to talk about finding your audience and navigating that audience when there's several circles, especially online, where you exist. And so I'm really curious to talk to you about how you mitigate these two different things, because you're really great about being a helper in the WordPress community, and you do awesome stuff for Genesis. And that audience there is really more of your peers than your clients, I would assume.
Mm-hmm.
But then you also have the successful business that is made up of small business owners. So I'm curious to learn more about how you manage that and how those things work out in your business. So you talked a little bit about your ideal customer is a small business owner. Are they typically someone you already know through your circles of influence with Genesis and WordPress, or are they outside of that, completely don't know what WordPress is, don't care about Genesis, they just need someone to build a website?
I'm going to go with the 70-30 split, maybe 30% coming from people within my network that are referring me or whatnot. Others would be, you know, they're not in the WordPress world. They know what WordPress is, most of them. They don't care about Genesis because they don't know what that is. And they're just a referral from previous clients. I do get some just organic leads coming into the site. Most of the time, those don't pan out. But I have just gotten a couple of randoms. So, yeah, you never know.
So as much time as you spend giving and doing things for the community, I mean, it seems like you're always blogging and on Twitter. And how do you find the time to actually market yourself and run a business while also spending all this time in this circle of people who aren't your ideal audience?
I've struggled quite a bit with that, to be frank, because I didn't, first of all, I didn't intend to have these multiple audiences. I mean, really, I was just sort of living and going and seeing where business took me, and this kind of happens to be where I've landed. But I've wondered if I should continue serving this audience of peers when ultimately those aren't the people that are ever going to pay me money to do services, because they can do what I do. But as time has gone on and I've talked to various people and gotten some feedback, one of the things I've realized that a lot of my marketing, so to speak, I do terrible self-marketing, but that by being active in the community and serving my peers, that has built authority, which kind of in a roundabout way is a form of marketing. So that wasn't my intent going into it, but I've discovered that I think there's value in continuing to do what I've been doing there, because in a very roundabout way, it does come back in the form of referrals.
So do you participate in other groups of people online outside of the developer community where your clients actually are? Is there like another side of Carrie Dils that we don't see there in groups that are those small business owners?
Not online. For about the past 5 years, I've been part of a local association for women retailers, locally owned retailers here in Fort Worth. And funny, I didn't even start out trying to offer them web services. I actually was trying to make a go selling greeting cards at the time I joined that group and was wanting to make connections with retailers. So I got to know all of these little independent shop owners and see what their pains were. And my wheels got to turning that I had a skill with web development that could serve them a whole lot better. They didn't want my greeting cards, it turns out. But I was able to offer them business with web services. So that's the only sort of outside the online world that I've immersed myself in, other than like my local WordPress community.
Okay. So are most of your leads through referrals and just past clients and other developers that know you? That's how you get most of that work?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I feel very fortunate. I've not had to go out and actively market myself. I've always had a fairly regular stream of leads coming in through various, some are organic, like I mentioned, some coming in from peers, some coming in from people who've worked with me in the past that have maybe moved on to a different company and now need services for that company. Mm-hmm. So several sources of leads, but I've been doing this long enough, and Heather, this may shock you because I know that I don't even look old enough to drink. But I've been doing this almost 20 years. So over the course of time doing that, I've just built up a considerable network. And not saying somebody has to go do that for 20 years to go and build up a good lead gen network, but it just so happens that's where I'm at.
Awesome. And so I know, well, actually, before we get to this next question, I'm just curious about your time management, because like I said, you spend a lot of time in the Genesis and WordPress communities, and that doesn't necessarily have a very direct payoff in your business. I mean, it's helping with referrals, and your name is out there more because of it, but do you have a good way to manage your time and kind of cut it off, say, no, I need to step away from the blog, put away the social media, and actually work on client work or work on, getting the next proposal out? Or how do you manage your time to do all of that, to become this authority and put out so many resources for the community, but then also do a really good job of keeping your clients happy and growing your business?
That's a really great question, and I am a poor time manager. My strategy in the past has just been work all the time. And I enjoy what I do, so it hasn't, I like working, but it's led to just not really a very good work-life balance. So some things I've started to do recently, time block certain days for certain things, like on Friday mornings I have my mastermind, and that's kind of late morning. So I've got tasks, like I've reserved that Friday morning for kind of administrative things, invoicing, billing, going through blah, 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 blah. All the boring stuff we don't like to do as freelancers. Mm-hmm. And, for instance, then Thursday I do my podcast. And so I've got that day kind of mapped out. Try to be strategic with whenever I schedule client meetings, to do it right at the beginning of the day or at the tail end of the day, so that I give myself as big of a time block to get work done as I can. And then I'm sorry, I'm kind of rabbit trailing on you a little bit, but my best friend lately has been tomatotimer.com. It's a little Pomodoro technique timer. It's set for 25 minutes, and you click it and go. And so I'll shut down everything, shut down social media, shut down anything that's distracting, and just go to task for 25 minutes. Get up, take a 5-minute break, go grab some water, and then come back and do that. And if I can get 4 or 5 of those Pomodoro cycles, man, you can knock some great stuff out. So the blogging, sorry, this really is a rambling answer.
No, that's great. I'm going to have to come back and try that. You said it was, what was the name of it? Tomato Timer?
Uh-huh. And it's, I think it's Tomato-Timer. So the blogging, I actually need to make more time for blogging. So what I've noticed is my traffic, it stays pretty much like this when I'm writing like regular weekly content, and then like the last, I think it's been almost 2 weeks since I've posted, and literally traffic is cut to half. And I think you wanted to talk about this later, but I have a fair amount of affiliate revenue that's directly tied to website traffic. So in essence, when I'm not making time to blog, I'm shooting myself in the foot. And it's not like I've got to, be Chris Lemma and blog every single day, or Curtis McHale. I'm never going to be that prolific a writer. But that does, even though it's, giving something in the way of education to my network, it's still self-serving too. It's generating, keeping me happy, or keeping the Googles happy with me, and generating affiliate clicks.
Awesome. And going back to the content that you're writing, so thinking about these two different audiences, you have your peers and the people that you like to educate and give content to, and then there's the clients. When you're planning your content, are you thinking about how can I potentially reach both audiences? Are you using any kind of SEO strategies, or are you just pulling out, this is what I want to talk about today, and happen to have a great affiliate link that goes with it?
Most of the time, I rarely, if ever, think, oh, I've got a great affiliate link to go with this, I'm going to write some content around it. I'm not that creative, or maybe don't want things just to sound like commercials, but generally either something is coming out of, if it's a technical article, it's probably just something I've finished working on or been trying to figure out, so I'll just post it in the form of a tutorial. And then other things that come up are just things that are on my mind as a freelancer, or things that I'm hearing my peers talk about. I really don't write to my client. They might flip through my blog just to kind of get a feel for what I'm about, but they are not coming to be educated. Like Curtis McHale, on the other hand, he does a great job of writing posts. He actually writes in two places, but he has this whole blog dedicated to what is it like to work with me? What can you expect when we work on a project together? And all these things that sort of prep his clients or potential clients for ultimately doing business with him. And I admire that model, but that component does not exist for me.
Do you see doing more content generation for clients any point in the future, or just keeping along with the same strategy you've been following?
I think I'll probably stick with the same strategy, primarily because I feel like that's where I have more to offer. As I've been doing this for a long time, I mean, I've still got a real crap ton of stuff to learn, but I feel like I can share better information with people that are on the same journey as me, maybe just at a different point. Maybe I've experienced some things that I can shed some light on or whatnot. And I frankly don't feel that same sense of authority when it comes to clients. I think a lot of that is I've always been, with a handful of exceptions, always been just a one-man show. So in terms of client onboarding and sitting down and doing these big marketing strategies and probably more agency type things, like the things you do. Those aren't things, I've done them on a very small scale for small businesses, but I don't have enough experience at that medium size and above level to really feel like I have good things to offer there content wise. True confessions. True confessions.
Well, I think you have a lot more to offer than you're giving yourself credit for, but I can understand. Sometimes it's easier just to write about what you're comfortable writing about, and sometimes that aligns well with the people that you're trying to reach, and sometimes it doesn't. So, which is actually a good lead into what you were talking about with affiliates. So you mentioned that the affiliate income is pretty significant for you. You published a blog post in March that actually shared some of your income that you're making from those affiliate links. And for people who aren't familiar, an affiliate link is something where you would have a link on your website that has a little tracking snippet added to it. When someone clicks on that link and goes to the other website, if the visitor purchases there, then the affiliate gets a commission. So basically, if you're a Studio Press affiliate and you have Studio Press banners or links on your website, someone clicks and goes there and buys a Studio Press theme, then you get paid a commission for that. So first of all, did you ever think that having these affiliate links on your site was something that was actually going to generate revenue? or was it just something you did because why not?
No, I really didn't. When I first started doing it, I think Studio Press probably was the first affiliate program I signed up for. And my goal was to recoup the cost of domains, hosting, and email. I was like, okay, that's, maybe that's a few $100 a year in expenses. If I can earn that money back, then it's like a break even. That's awesome. Yeah, so I had no idea that you could actually make affiliate revenue a significant source of income. And just for anyone who's listening, I'm not getting my yacht completed right now. I don't have quite enough cash for that. So it's not like, people like Pat Flynn, they actually, from Smart Passive Income, they actually post their monthly revenues, which is just incredible. And he's up somewhere in the, 100K plus a month from passive income. And of course, passive doesn't equal affiliate income is passive income, but passive doesn't necessarily equal affiliate. Anyhow, so I'm nowhere. I'm not even in that realm. But it's interesting to see that you can, if done strategically, you can actually make a fair, you can do more than pay for your hosting.
I was really surprised by that, because I think we've all had, affiliate projects we've tried, and it seems like the affiliate heyday, I at least felt like, kind of came and went, and I was really surprised to see that you were making a significant income off of affiliate links, because it's just not something that at least I personally think of as a way to generate revenue. So does having those affiliate links and that additional income, do you feel like that helps to sort of free you up and give you more of the creative freedom to participate in the WordPress community more and give back more because you have that additional revenue coming in?
It has freed me up. I don't know if it's freed me up for the purpose of being helpful to to those around me. But when I set out looking at what my 2015 budget would be, in the past I've been 100% client work, just project after project, oftentimes stacked projects, and that was 100% of my income. And frankly, I'm weary of that being 100% of my time. So trying to diversify what those income streams were. So I looked at affiliate revenue and passive income as a way to free me up from that much less client work. And with the time I'm saving there, it's allowed me to invest in some personal projects, like building themes and working on my podcast. And it's just given me a flexibility to branch out in some other ways.
And that does remind me of one other question that I wanted to ask you about with the themes. So how has it been, about a year and a half since you released the original utility theme?
Let's see. Yeah, probably not quite 2 years, but around there for the original utility. Then a year ago, February, I released Winning Agent Pro. And then this past January 2015, I re-released Utility as Utility Pro. And that was yeah.
And so did your decision to start developing these premium themes, did that come out of you had this audience that was already built and now here's the product you can actually sell to these people? Or is that something that you sort of always knew you wanted to eventually develop your own premium theme to be able to sell?
I was just sort of on my bucket list of things I wanted to do and things I wanted to try out. And again, going back to that bigger goal of being able to generate some passive income. Hey, oh, hi, sorry. You're on national television. I'm just kidding. That's not cool. That's Taylor.
I'm really jealous. No one comes and cleans.
Makes my life happy.
We have to clean ourselves.
Shoot. Yeah, so going back to dual goal of just wanting to do it because I've just wanted to try out what it was like to have a product in the WordPress space, and then also making a big time investment up front on development with the hopes of payoff down the line. And it's been, I mean, I know Theme Forest, Asana, or whatever those themes are that are like kicking booty. It'll be a long time before I break even, if I ever even break even on Utility Pro. But I'm trying not to look at it that way. I'm trying to look at it like, oh, those were all donated hours of my time, and hopefully in the future it'll have some good payouts. But speaking of affiliate programs, I just opened up an affiliate program for my theme. So I was curious. I'm very curious to see. It's only been 2 weeks, so I don't have any data to report. But I mean, basically, it's free advertising, right? Or not free, but for a percentage, 25% or whatever it is of your product, you get other people out there promoting you. So I'm really curious to see if that has impact on sales.
I'm curious to see that too. I mean, we're rolling out our first affiliate-based product as well, and so I'll be interested to learn from what you're doing over there to see what we can improve on our end as well. It's kind of uncharted territory, so I'll be interested to see how that goes for you. And I think I think with your community, you definitely have the potential to be hugely successful with that. So I hope that you're ready for a lot of support tickets and
bring it on. I've got a woman named Ginger who does my support, and she is my right arm. She's awesome. So yeah, bring on the support tickets, and Ginger, I'll toss them to Ginger.
So looking back, just considering everything we've talked about today, and especially just the idea that your actual customers, who are the bread and butter of your business, are not in this circle of people that you really spend a lot of your time with online, that you spend a lot of time creating content for. If you could go back and start it all over, would you do anything differently? Would you look for other communities that were more central to your actual end customer to be a part of and become a leader of, or would you have done things pretty much the same way?
It's an interesting question. Hindsight's always 20/20, but I think that I would do it the same because again, it wasn't, I didn't start out with a strategy in mind. It was just sort of, okay, I'm trying to learn this craft, and here's a group of people that are also learning, and we can do this all together. And it's like, that's a comfortable, easy group of people to be around versus, your clients, are you always in sales mode, or you're in professional business suit Carrie mode. I don't even own a business suit. I don't even know. Who am I kidding? I don't even own a button down. But no, I don't think I would. I've enjoyed building relationships in the community, and honestly, building relationships, whether you're doing it in an online community or with your peers or your clients, that's paramount to success. Regardless of which pocket of people you're with, building community is huge.
Fantastic. And any parting advice for managing your time, just really not letting this whole online community concept overtake you and carry you off in the wrong direction, kind of like all these crazy rains and floodwaters we've had this week?
I would say
stay afloat as they're navigating this crazy social media world and all these different circles and areas they can get involved.
Stay afloat. We are all kinds of nautical today. I love it. And very fitting for the Texas weather. I think my best advice would be to shut down the frickin' Twitter TweetDeck or Hootsuite or whatever you're using, and be intentional about when you're opening it up. So in the morning, I'll check it, see what went on overnight, and I'll check at lunch, and and then I'll check again in the evening. And if I just have something I'm really dying to say, I'll get on there, you know, middle of the day and ask a question or make a comment or whatnot. But those aren't things that I just leave up and running. Like a Slack, for instance. I have like 9 Slack groups that I'm a part of, and I could literally spend all day hanging around and watching the conversation go by. And, you know, if you're eating a piece of pizza or there's nothing good on TV, that's fantastic. But leaving those windows open while you're trying to get work done is incredibly unproductive and distracting. So I'd say shut it down.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We're coming right up here on 12:30, so we can go ahead and wrap it up. If you would let people know where to find you, find your podcast, that would be awesome.
Sure, thank you. I hang out, Twitter is where I mostly am, and I'm at CDils with just one L, or at Office Hours FM on the Twitters. And then, of course, I'm over at this famous blog, just kidding, is carriedils.com. So, yeah, come say hi.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me, Heather.
Huh?
I said thanks for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. It was nice to have you back on, and I'm looking forward to seeing how things go with your affiliate program.
I will report back.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye, guys.